Hey guys, Mr. Hildinger here, making this video for the Roseville Sites of Encounter mapping activity. Uh, Mrs. Sturt and Mrs. Schutz will be showing this as well, so hopefully you're not getting tired of hearing any one teacher's voice too much. So as we did last week, we're going to kind of change it up on you guys as much as possible. So let's get right into the assignment. This is building off of what you learned yesterday in the Sites of Encounter slideshow. And I can show you that again in case we forgot what it is, but we're really focusing in on the types of exchanges that took place at sites of encounter. And so you learned about it in a historical context. And what we really want to do is we want to show you that that actually is stuff that still takes place today. Okay, I think that's always valuable for you to see that the stuff we study historically is actually still happening now. Okay, and you're a part of that history. So it's really cool. We hope you have a lot of fun with this assignment. It's meant to reinforce your learning and really giving you a chance to kind of do some fun stuff with searches and maps and things like that. So again, a little bit of a review. We have our three different types of exchanges that took place, and one is trade products, the other being ideas, and last, technologies. Okay, and so in short, what you're going to do, because students always ask, okay, what is it you want me to do? Well, in short, what we're going to be doing is taking those maps from Map Customizer, and we're going to have it pictured on Roseville. And then what you're going to want to do is come up with 5 for each of these different types of exchanges, 5 examples in Roseville where these things are exchanged. Okay, so where trade products are exchanged. And then we're going to have 5 examples of where ideas are exchanged in Roseville. And then finally, technologies. And we'll pin those on the map, and that's about it. So let me show you, we'll go through a little more detailed walkthrough, and I'll kind of click around a little bit. So one thing I should mention is when you're working on this assignment, you're going to want to refer to your brainstorming sheet from yesterday, because if you go to the map customizer, it does not, like if I just typed in Starbucks or certain stores, it will not know where they're at in Roseville. So that's where you have to do things like this. So like an example here is I went to just my normal Google search and I typed in Starbucks near me, because for me, an example, if I were a student, I'm giving you an example right now. For me, what I would have done as I viewed this, as I viewed the slideshow, I know that at Starbucks, a lot of ideas are exchanged. I see people, co-workers sitting at tables, drinking coffee, talking about different work ideas. I see students studying, which if you think about that, the materials that they're studying from their professor or teacher, and then the student is learning it, that's an exchange of ideas. So when I think of Starbucks, I think of, it's definitely a place, it's a site of encounter, it's a place where ideas are exchanged. So I'm going to use Starbucks as one of my 5 idea places of exchange. So when I go back into the map, I wanted to use Starbucks, but if I type it in here, it doesn't know where it is. So again, I went over here, Google searched Starbucks near me, it gave me an exact address, 9045 Wood Creek Oaks. And then when I went to the map customizer, I was able to type that in here. And you can see here that it found that plot for me. Okay, so it put it inside the Safeway where it's at. So again, just to kind of, I know I'm jumping around here a little bit, just to simplify it, map customizer does not recognize certain places if you just type Apple Store or something like that. So what you have to do is you have to do a separate search in Google to get the address. Once you have the actual number address, like on a house or something like that, you can put it in the location here and it will find it. So like I put my home address in here and it actually found it on here. So it's very accurate. It knows where everything is. You just have to kind of give it more specific directions. All right, so during the medieval period, many societies began to interact at sites of encounter. Historians give the name site of encounter to places where merchants, travelers, and scholars exchange products, technologies, and ideas. In today's activity, you will be demonstrating that Roseville is a site of encounter by providing evidence of places where products, ideas, and technology are traded in Roseville, California. Directions: you will be making a map featuring places in Roseville where products, ideas, technologies are traded. be sure to have the brainstorm list you created yesterday handy before you start pinning locations on your map. Remember, cell phones are not the only form of technology in a society. Something as simple as a shovel was a form of technology in some early civilizations. And I would say definitely when you're trying to kind of figure out what your 15 items or places are going to be, definitely ask your teacher, use the chat feature, all those things. Ask other students. So step-by-step directions, this should be mostly review for you guys because we did a map like this last week. So our hopes are that this time around, you're not worried so much about the technology and how to use Map Customizer and saving it and all that kind of stuff. You're more focused on just the content learning. So once again, number one, you will go to mapcustomizer.com. We've linked it in here for you. Hopefully, if you just type in map, it'll probably come up on your search history. And then you're going to choose to log in using Google. Remember, we said last week it was very important that you created your account on there using the Google button because it saves your maps. You can come back to them later. And again, this time around, these first two steps should be pretty automatic. Step 3, you're going to go to the location search bar on the right side of the page and type in the location you want to pin. Once again, remember, I had to do a separate Google search to get my address of the Starbucks that I wanted to find. And then you can put it here, excuse me, put it here in the location and it will come up. And then don't forget to give it a description. So for mine, I would have probably put site of encounter ideas number 1 or something like that. So you can have your 5 ideas all accounted for. Okay, step 4, for this assignment, you need to include 5 places where products are traded, 5 places where ideas are traded, and 5 places where technologies are traded. So that's a total of 15. So once again, I'll say that when it's all said and done, your map should have 15 pins on it, okay? So once again, 5 places where products are traded, 5 where ideas are traded, and 5 where technologies are traded. And we really want you to get creative here, okay? So I think if you look at Roseville, you could definitely come up with 5 places where actual physical products are being traded, okay? So think about shopping, think about, I don't want to say too much because I want you guys to really, demonstrate your content mastery here, but anywhere where there's some sort of transactions taking place, products switching hands from seller to buyer, you're probably going to be on the right track if you think along those lines. And then 5 places where ideas are traded. There's a lot of places where people are learning or sharing information, talking, things like that. And then 5 places where technologies are traded. And again, technologies do not have to be, I think when we use the word technology in 2020, we always think of electronic devices and things like that. But there's a lot of other technologies. For example, the shovel is a technology. Okay, so really, again, hopefully in your slideshow from yesterday, you were able to pick up on what technologies are. And again, don't just limit yourself to things like cell phones. And then step number 5 here, when all locations have been mapped, you just need to click the save button. And rather than read these directions again, I'm just going to kind of walk you through saving and turning it in Otis because that's what these last couple steps are about. So you would go back into your map when it's all done and you have 15 pins down here. So you're going to have the long list of pins. You're going to click the save button. You're going to want to give it a detailed name. We recommend you do first name, last name, and then give it a title, in this case, Sites of Encounter, maybe Sites of Encounter Map or something like that. And then you will save the map. Once you've saved it, you have this unique address at the top because you can see it has my name in it now. You highlight it, copy it. Okay, so once you've copied this, then we just need to now get it into Otis. Okay, so you're all done with the assignment. We now have a way to grab that assignment by copying the link. And now we're going to go into Otis. And remember, in Otis, we have our Assessments tab. So you click on Assessments, and then this screen comes up, which is really detailed walkthrough of how you submit this. The short version is you just go down here to the very bottom and you click on Attachments. Since it was a link that we copied, we're going to add the link here. So you have this little link symbol here. You're going to click on that. You would paste your link in here and you would give it a name. And again, I would give it your first name, last name, and a name of what the actual map is or assignment. So Sites of Encounter, Roseville, or something like that. Once you're done, click Save and submit it. And that's pretty much it. So we are working on this today in class. You'll also have the weekend to kind of make sure you're getting pretty close to being done. And then on Monday, you'll be given more time to finish it and actually submit it. All right, so hopefully that helps. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask your teacher. Good luck, have fun with it. See you later.